Hello, everybody. It's this dude in car. Good morning, good morning, good morning to every one of you. Welcome back to Mile Drive, Raleigh, North Carolina. So, you guys have been away for a while now, ever since I think Tuesday. And what's gonna end up happening is in the city server, um, we're going to, well, first off, we have a long stretch of Western Boulevard that's already been added. The exit from Western Boulevard to South Saunders has been added. Just needs to basically be added with a few lines here that need to be finished off. That's gonna be finished off today. Um, let's see here. So yeah, Western Boulevard is going to be basically foreshadowed here and there as part of the expansion of the nearby roads. And another bit of a tidbit update is I'm going to be incorporating um, 3D trees the further out we go. So I think from this point over here, where the federal prison is located in Raleigh, that whole entire area is going to be nothing but 3D trees from this point onward. And recently, I took the liberty of going ahead and revamping the Raleigh City buses. The only issue here is they currently are having some actual front wheel issues that I have to resolve. But other than that, the game is coming out really, really good. I went ahead and worked a little bit off the stream on Tuesday, I believe, on the interstate area a little bit, kind of decorating it and putting in the first signage here. Uh, it's been a total success. I've pretty much used screenshot clip art that I took in from my computer, and I've put that liberty at use there. I've also incorporated my own version of lights that I found from a source online, using Blender and rendering in the lights and stuff. So that'll be really, really useful for the Raleigh area, and the interstates later on pretty soon. And then we have a few new vehicles here. I've added a total, I think, about 10. Yesterday and Wednesday, I found a couple of free models again. So our newest free models are the Ford F-150 Raptor, the Chevy Tahoe 2012, the Dodge Durango. I believe it's a SRT, I believe, or something. The Chevy Camaro, I think it's a 2015 from the looks of it. We have a different version of the Chevy Suburban. I think this is a C71. A 2010. I believe this is like a 2005 Ram 1500. Been looking to find one that's like a 2018, but a lot of people have barely made any free models that work properly, so I'll probably have to go in someday today or someday later to add that free model, or basically just edit and code that free model. We have the Volkswagen Golf. I believe this is the four-door version, in blue. Of course, we'll have more color variations coming out for these vehicles in the future. We have here the Chevy Malibu. Of course, I thought this was a Chevy Impala, but it'll work. It does its job. And then this here is my old model from a very, very old server that I used to have. The Ford Mustang 2015. This bad boy was used in my very, very old Texas server that I used to have. And I pulled it out from those old files. And I just decided to bring it to Mile Drive, Raleigh, North Carolina as a bit of a revamp. But yeah, I tested out all these vehicles before adding them. I made sure that there was no conflicts or anything that would make the game a little bit slower. So yeah, everything seems to be running really, really good. We do have a, it does slow a little bit, but it's not too bad. But nothing a bit of TLC can handle. Let's see, let's go over here to the other spawn point. And then for the next round of updated cars, we have the white version of the Honda Civic, I believe. Civic, or I'm not sure. I think it's a Civic. And the black version of the Nissan Altima right there. Added two new colors there. As you can see, the signage is featuring them. A Tesla Model S, I believe, and a Tesla Model Y have been added as well to the server. And a Ford Fusion as well has been added. That's really just the last of the newest vehicles that's been added in terms of civilian. I've gone ahead and I'm actually working on this new variant of Chevy Police. No. Yeah, I think it's a Chevy Silverado police utility vehicle for the Raleigh livery. That's coming out soon here. But yeah, everything is not so bad as I last showcased in that last update. We go ahead and travel across the city here though, and we have a brand new area of Capitol Boulevard that's been properly expanded as well. Um, this entire area here is actually going to be a new parking, a new parking deck spawn point. That's a little as to why there's a lot of vehicles in this area. It's because of the parking deck. Um, and then lately, I've also been noticing that there isn't enough clearance for buses under this little gate thing over here, and that'll be updated later on. But of course, we have a bit of development here, a bit of development that's gonna go on in this area in North Raleigh. So as we go into North Raleigh a little more later on, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about with the new updates. But in terms of everything else, city's growing very wide. A lot of driving area, I would say. In general, it's not that bad of an area, I would say, but it definitely does its job. So let's go ahead and go over here. And of course, we got everything that we need. So this Wells Fargo building has to be pretty much completed. So I'm gonna focus the remainder of the day or the live working on this area. So let's go ahead and hash this out, shall we? But the rest of the entirety of the day has consisted with few expansion of a few roads. Nothing too bad that I couldn't handle. I think today we'll probably focus on upgrading the Capitol Boulevard Road after we're done with this building. So it'll be really interesting watching those areas unfold. I actually worked on, now that I mention it for building updates, I worked on this building over here. The this bank building over here. I worked on this past week. I've added a few windows in here. Just gotta go ahead and add details there. But in terms of everything else, everything is turning out really, really good. I really should have gone live yesterday though. I don't know why I didn't, but I guess it just didn't go live yesterday. I should have though. And I was thinking of sometime soon, um, getting the apartments or like livable spaces, set up in the server, which is something that could be very much utilized. But I gotta see. I plan to get a lot of stuff done today. I did a bit of testing on my own yesterday, and game runs pretty good. Not too bad, honestly. Thought it would have performed worse, but it performs really good. So, game does its job. Seems like today my Roblox live on YouTube seems to be running really good. So, seem to be having something there. Alright, I'm at 3% on my phone. I'm looking if anybody comments. Of course, I don't want to get copyrighted on this video. It would suck if I did. It would really, really suck if I did get copyrighted. Haven't done too much work on the diorama. I was at Hobby Lobby yesterday, and basically I thought of buying more stuff for the diorama, but I still have a lot of work to do on the diorama. I have like I think like 1 or 2 buildings. No, it's like 3 buildings to assemble. I got like a house, 2-pack house for the diorama. I might hop on today and see what I do. This is taking longer than I expected. A little longer than I thought, but yeah, expected. That's for sure. But what I really need to do though is I actually need to like focus on finishing this area. So I could focus on getting more areas done and hopefully more driving. So I don't know. I'd make a speedrun video. I think that would like get a lot more traction on here. But I don't know. That'd probably take a lot of time and energy. I've been striving to post more videos though, at least. That's the good part. More videos on the channel. potential interstate videos, interstate editions like 540 and 440. So far we have a bit of 40 on the map, and frankly a bit of 401, but everything else seems to be like a blur, I would say. For me personally, it seems to be like a personal blur. Because I think what will be very exciting is once I start working on the interstates a little more, there will be many more roads to drive on. Like there will be like a huge portion of roads that are gonna be like basically empty that lead nowhere. And then eventually it'll get to a bunch of areas that basically are self-developing themselves, and hopefully like it'll be subdivisions, but in terms of actual player homes, there'll be like about 50. The server size is about 50, so I'll probably keep it at about a minimum of 50 players, uh, player homes per server, or probably like 60, depending on the variation. Because if the variation is more than that, if it's like depending on if it's more to handle on the server, it's definitely going to impact on loading times. I've kind of like recently noticed that we do have a bit of loading time issues. Well, actually, yesterday I was testing obviously, as I said earlier, I was testing out the server and I thought Roblox was down, but we were on a buffer for about like 20 seconds from the last time I ever uploaded the game. And I've been noticing that on console, since I run on a PS4, the game is a bit laggy on console. And then obviously on mobile, since I literally test play on mobile like 100%, mobile everything works pretty good. I've been trying to do a better job at specifying the controls and trying to be a little bit more mobile oriented friendly. Of course, also tablet users can also play the game as well. I've been trying to make the game a little bit friendly across all platforms, but we'll definitely have to reduce the tree usage a little here in the future. So gonna have to find 3D low poly trees for now on. Server has started to hit its max with all of its decoration and foliage, so that'll sadly have to be a thing from now on. So I'll have to go in and get rid of not get rid of trees entirely, but um, convert to 3D usage of trees. That's what I did in my last server anyway. Um, but the first time I ever started the Mao Drive series was way back in 2000 and 2023, I believe. It had been a long going project since then, but it ended up starting off because I wanted to do my own version of Oklahoma City, basically Missouri and Tulsa and that sort of stuff. And the game had delved down into getting a little more complex. And then from there, I was like, wonder how this is gonna go. So then I started basically getting familiar with making my own traffic signs and traffic lights and roads, and got a little familiar from there. And it wasn't until I started using Archimedes for roads that I was able to finally basically update my roads and have like actual realistic turning roads, and that kind of expanded my possibility of my imagination, and that's how we are here now today. It is simply all because I was able to use Archimedes and learn how to use it. So I think in essence, essentially, it is very important to have Archimedes. It's very, very important if you want to do like any like major road work or major road designs. That really comes in clutch, I would say personally. But I was up a little bit late earlier at night, and I was looking at the recent projects that they're doing around here on the 40 portion, and looks to be that they're gonna add more lanes to a couple of areas. So when I go into consideration with actually adding highways and stuff, what's gonna end up happening is I'm gonna base off the actual highways on their updated future versions. And then once that's already done, then that's when I already know that basically I won't need to go back and work on anything else because it would have already been basically finished and ready. So yeah, I'm not a little worried in terms of the server having to be updated for any future highway expansions that are happening in real life. So trying to stay ball of knowledge way ahead of the game. But yeah, we've got a lot of areas that are being added. I think right now what needs to be expanded is the Martin Luther King Road on the eastern part of the map. That area, basically, those entirety of areas need to be basically worked on. Um, we've got the Western Boulevard portion that was updated yesterday, as I showed earlier in the video. But we still have a lot of work to do. Like the highway connections, those are already added. It would just be about adding more roads. Because so far, I feel like all you could really drive right now is on South Wilmington Street in a huge portion of South Saunders. But you can't drive into Garner yet. And I feel like that'll be like the biggest thing is if we could reach to the next town over in terms of driving, it'll be big on my part to add that because it would be way more convenient to at least be able to drive and have a bit of realism is what I'm trying to say. But it's a good thing that it's a good thing that I woke up today a little early so I could get a few updates in. Like, I'm gonna be so honest, I did not think I would wake up at this time. I thought I'd wake up like later on, but not like this current time. Well, it seems like nobody's hopping on, so I am going to end off this live. Um, and yeah, guys, appreciate the ones that who stayed up for watching. I'm actually probably just gonna hop off right now. Yeah, guys, this is the end of the live. See ya.